Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 for Thursday, January the 26th, 2023. The market continues to follow very cleanly the Elliott path that it actually showed me, but at least it's following through, which gives more support and confirmation that we finally may have our solution as to where all of this is going to finish up and what it is now. So again, I just want to start, I'm starting on the hourly, but I'm going to jump quickly over to the 4-hour chart to just review that I still believe that we're in a primary C wave down. This is intermediate wave 1, because remember, primary C will consist of 5 waves of intermediate degree. There's intermediate 1. I had originally placed intermediate wave 2 here, which would have suggested that we were in a intermediate 3rd wave, and I had labeled this as finishing 2. This would have been minor 1. And to be honest with you, it still can be a minor wave 2 here in the S&P. Wave 2 just cannot go over that level. But even if I'm using that level, it still hasn't broken, because on a closing basis, the high would be here versus here. It has not broken either level. So if it finishes up within this area, we can probably consider it still minor 1, minor 2, but I'm not going there. That would be a backseat type of account. But here we are, here, A of intermediate wave 2, B of intermediate wave 2, and we're finally in that C wave and adjusted the labeling to reflect it. And it's following through on, once it did this strange internal subminute wave, it's back on track with including 3 down, 5 up, 3 down, 5 up. So now back over to that hourly chart. Let's take a look. What we can start to build, first of all, we have for the entire C wave, we have our estimate on where this could go. And we can basically already start to, let me just again put this back out to the hourly. Here's where it can't go over. So we pretty much can start to back out of this or anything higher under the current count. Does that mean the market can't go there? Of course not. But if it does, it's going to negate the intermediate wave 1 and all of this, and this will turn into a primary B wave rally that I thought was done in August, would not. So some people are already using that. I have not switched yet. I'm down on the intermediate degree level, and that's where I made my switch. But still allows for quite a bit of upside. But we have quite a bit left to come where people are going to really kind of try to focus on how high they can push or what needs to happen. But we're beginning to see the balancing in the earnings reports. Intel actually came out with not very good earnings, and we can see immediately what happened to AMAT, competitor there, drops $3. We saw that Intel dropped $3, so they took $3 off of AMAT. What else are they doing? Let's look at Micron. They're not necessarily hitting Micron as hard, but it is down off of the highs. NVIDIA, down $5. Again, it's same that they're chip, they make their chip providers and technology, but NVIDIA is into a whole different space. And I know Intel participates everywhere, but you're just seeing how that's rolling through and affecting other members of that same sector, and that's a sector within the tech sector. So what does that mean for our count? Here in the S&P, we did start to pull off. So again, my 4-hour chart, I'm looking A, B, we're inside that C wave, 1, 2, 3, we got the 4, and now we're moving up again. Back down to that hourly chart. Here's the 3, here's the 4. This basically was yesterday. Beautiful rally, coming back in. We had Tesla's earnings. Tesla continued to basically skyrocket, even though right now they brought it down off of those highs. It traded as high as 162, finishing up the day at 160. In the after hour, they started to move it lower again. So again, I suspect it will hold. Now, here's what we got going on tomorrow, right? Let's take a quick peek immediately at that to see if it's really going to have some kind of effect. Only thing we got tomorrow is personal income and outlays. That's at 8:30 Eastern. At 10 o'clock Eastern, consumer sentiment. That did have a little bit of effect last time it was reported because it's labeled on Econo Day as green, which means it may or may not have a market move. Pending home sales also at 10 a.m. That's it for our numbers. What else we have is just what's coming up for expiration. It's been one hell of a rally here and then again here. I don't suspect they're going to start getting off of these things right now. I think that Apple will continue to head higher. So it'd be, you can go in and you can take a look to see where things are lining up as is. Back to Microsoft tacked on $7.40 again. As this market is rallying, particularly in Microsoft, it is extremely strong. And not sure what they want to plug into. It could be the AI investment that they've made into OpenGPT, which has a lot of promise in that artificial intelligence space. And it's making it quite clear that I think that Microsoft has full intent to go ahead and try to grab OpenGPT, artificial intelligence, to take it under their wing and to use it accordingly to what they're looking for. That is what I'm hearing coming across. Now, whether people are now going to back up Microsoft saying we approve by jumping in and buying the stock, I think that, if we have hedge funds or we have asset managers who are needing to put Microsoft into a portfolio, that may be going on, but I would think they're early. AI, yes, I believe is going to have numerous applications moving forward, numerous, but that doesn't mean that Microsoft and AI are not going to be put on a back burner while we go through a recession, while we go through a period of deflation, why things tend to even out with all this inflation and everything else that's going on with our economy. So I would say that kind of move based on something like purchasing or stepping in to the artificial intelligence space is early. But hey, people do what people do. In any case, that just sets up Microsoft to continue to rally and start heading to 250 to 252. That becomes a reality. We saw it go above 252 when they reported earnings on Tuesday. It went above. So who knows if that's where they're going to start heading back to get out of a lot of positions. I don't know. But that's out there. Tesla's out there. Tesla being above 160 today opens up the whole gambit of 160, 162.50, 165, et cetera, et cetera. And we know the volatility in Tesla in terms of how it can move is very strong. That may play out tomorrow. Again, I'm just giving information. We need to allow the market to tell us. But so if we continue to poke and prod and search higher, that could be the reason why, and so that we're not necessarily surprised. Now, let's try to put together our picture for where. Now, what I have on here already are the fibs for that intermediate wave 2. Right now, 618 seems to be where we're lining up here. And this actually, I think, would be for, let me go on and just double check what we're looking at here. It's for the C wave. So A, B, we're looking for the C wave. C waves, very common, is 62% of wave A. It actually does fit because C wave is always anticipating that it will break to a new high above the A wave. Successfully, it would do that. That's 4180. This would be 4207. Here we go. It lines up. What it can't do is it cannot go here. That would shift the whole picture, as I just mentioned earlier. But it can go here, and then I find this to be very likely. Now let's start adding some fuel to see. We're going to start looking at the internals here to see where this lines up. If we have a 3 and a 4, we're looking for the 5. let's start putting in our fibs to where this could start to head. We're going to come down to there, and here again, wave 5 would be equal to wave 3 at 4201. We have the 618 at 4207. Now we got a little double cluster right there, but here is the other one that does fit for me pretty cleanly. We're not getting above 4180, but it would be considered a failure, but it fits. We got the 618, wave 5, 618 of 3, it fits. We have the 50% at 4127, doubling up with 4130, which is the sweet spot. Got it there, 78.6, also not super common, but not super uncommon at 4150. If it got up here and then failed due to news, do something, do whatever would come out, very possible. Now, dropping it back down so we can take a look. We can get inside this thing now. And again, it's a little bit difficult to count, even if I drop this down to the 30-minute chart, so I can take a look at the internals in here. Now coming off of this, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1, 2. What's all this? I don't know. But this basically was our opening, which always then increases the volume because this is the overnight trade. So I need to let the market play out, because for all I can tell you, this could be wave 1 of 5, wave 2 of 5, get a wave 3 and a 4 and a 5, and then we're done. But the wave 5 would be the extended wave. And so I wouldn't be looking for as much from a third wave. Because remember, essentially, we can get up to there, but we cannot go past here. We can't. Getting above that level blows out the whole thing. So again, how we get up there is going to be important. But if we get a wave 3 up to here, do a 4 and then a 5, and we still end up around that 4200 level, which tends to now gravitate towards, right? Because again, tomorrow's Friday, we have an expiration, then we're going to be dealing with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday's the Fed. We have earnings reports coming out. And then Thursday, we got Apple. So we still have things out there. They're going to put some control on this whole thing. In fact, we have a lot next week. We have Apple on Thursday. We have Amazon on Thursday. We have Honeywell on Thursday. Intel reported. We have Meta on Wednesday. So Meta and the Fed come together. We have Moderna late in the month. Microsoft's already reported. NVIDIA's late in the month, so we don't have to worry about them. Tesla's reported. So we've had a lot of the big boys come in and already give us our reports, but we still have Apple, Amazon, AMAT, AMD, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Honeywell can be a big mover. We already know that they came out and gave a little warning and they trashed the stock, but they've decided to buy it all back. It's the way it is. So I'm not sure of this small internal count, but if I had to, I probably could put another layer of fibs in here, but I'm just connecting high to that low because it looks like 5 and that's a 3. So if I do that, I'm not sure what, but I can give points in the count. Fibonacci points. So here again, we're lining up here, 4127, 4132, 4157 to 4172. And again, we get another line up here just around that 4200, 4201, 4206. So we got now 3, one here, and one here that push us up into this zone. So it continues to kind of line up as being the area that the market is likely going to head to. So I am going to take that one off because it gets a little bit too crowded. But what I did was go from here to here to here to measure whatever we could reach up into. And we know we can get up there. We got a big cluster up here at additional levels within. So there's going to be plenty of resistance on the way up. So the big question is going to be, do we get a strong enough push to get us above that 4180, which technically still sits there as the completion point for wave A. So right now, I'm just going to leave it alone. We're going to let the market play itself out. and we're going to see moving averages. We now got the 200, not strong, but it is angling higher. 50 angling higher. 20 now going a little vertical with the market this afternoon. 4 and 8 definitely vertical. So still looking pretty good to get all of this done. It's either going to be the biggest setup in the world by the long or the biggest squeeze, et cetera, et cetera. It all is going to play out. Over in the NASDAQ, and it's the same story, but the NASDAQ got itself above 12,100 today. So its progress is actually pretty cool. It's really working. So again, here are our fibs to complete this whole thing. Now let me go back out and let's just take a peek. This one is sitting at 12,335. That's the completion point for wave A. We cannot slip above 13,765 before we would kill the whole intermediate wave 2 theory. But that's still pretty far away. But this is still within the realm of reality. So now we got A and the B. We're in that C wave. Let's go back down to that hourly chart and take a look. Now, same deal. I'm going to use the extensions here in the NASDAQ. And I don't want that one. I want to do it a little bit better. Close that. I want to anchor it to there. There you go. And to there. And then down to there. So what do we got? 12,234.50. And guess what? There is that channel line coming down off of the all-time high, connecting the March highs to the August highs, nearly the June highs, and nearly also coming down here now, December highs and now January highs. So we have that just around 12,200. It fits. It works. What do we have after that? Well, we got 12,613. And that's the 100%, where wave C would be equal to wave A. And then we have right below it, where wave 5 would be equal to 0.786 of wave 3. That works. So basically what we have is 62% at 12,383, like that level, standing all by itself. Pops up, finishes, drops. So again, wave 5 is what we're trying to count out. And where are we within 5? Yet to be determined. So, but we've added a layer that continues to wrap around 12,600. Now, let's go take a peek if we can get something inside. Let me go down to the 30-minute chart like we did over there. This starts to get a little sketchy because here as well, is that a 1, 2, is it 3, 4, 5, 1? And then what is this noise? So I'm going to count this was 3. I'm going to count that as some type of a high and then come down to here and see what I can get. So now I'm going to connect. Again, I'm not really sure how I would label it, but let's just connect the points to see what possibilities this move that's in progress off of this morning's low might be able to do. And we're going to go to this guy right there, and we're going to bring it back down to here. Now, we got layers. We got layers all over the place. These are very much on the inside. Then we have the outside. Then we have the bigger outside. So inside here, we got 12,266, 224, 2186, 618. So see, we got them all. They're lining up. And then we got another one here, 100%. This would be 100% of this at 364. And then we have 364. Then we have 618, which relates to this move. And that's at 383. So we have an internal one. Let me go back over here. We have the internal one to do this. Those are here. We have the next one here for that 5th, which is here. And then we have, as we go up, the larger, where wave C would equal wave A, up here. So we continue to build this cluster. So the market may move easily through these, but it should start to find resistance as more difficult to get through them as we start heading up, particularly here. That is just cluster filled. And if that breaks, then we go, I think it'll be a quick spike up to here, and that would be it. But here, it's even more chock full of resistance than it was because we're adding different layers. So again, we got a lot. We got a lot. But we have that 12,600 level. But actually, it starts from 12,500 all the way up to 12,000, almost 700. Pretty thick. And then below that, we've got a double sitting right at 12,364 to 60, 12,383. So that's a zone. So we've got plenty of room to get there, and we've got plenty of reason to stop there. Elliott-wise, Fibonacci-wise, we've got a lot going on, but I'm thinking we're probably not going to get above 12,700. That would be an extreme for me. But I'm not going to say never. Don't want to tell the NASDAQ never because they take it in like as a challenge, and then they normally will try to take you out on it. So I'm going to start taking this down so I can clean up all of my messes and leave it with just this larger one. Now, moving average wise, you see that we're moving up nicely, but it's not racing. The 20 kind of picked up a little bit of slope today. The 8 and the 4 continue to guide our trades. 50, it's sloping, but it's not racing. So here we kind of got that nice race, but now you see it just starts to slow down a little bit as it angles up. And this slows down, and this definitely slows down. But it continues to point to higher. That's our 30-minute. We look at the hourly, continues to point to higher. We look at the daily. We still haven't gotten up to the daily 50. That sells at 12,128. Maybe we touch it today? We did. We did. Came up and touched it and backed off. Good move, NASDAQ. Going up and gave a little look at that daily 200. Well done. A break above it should give us a boost and maybe get this thing over. Right? A boost would be 500 points. We want to get up to 12,613. That should cap it all off. Go for it. We get above successfully, and tomorrow we were able to close above it, it would set us up for a nice rally on Monday, starting probably on Sunday afternoon. Again, we got to get through tomorrow, so let's see what happens. But for right now, I am continuing to look for higher prices to complete this intermediate wave 2 and set the stage for the next decline. And that'll be it for today. Our next update will be on Sunday, and that will be 28, 29, the 29th of January. Amazing. January's gone. All right. Have a great evening, everybody, and then have a great weekend.